believed to have started around some exterior bamboo scaffolding.
Local councils actively ignored and denied reported safety hazards, then, instead of admitting to overlooked mistakes and rectifying them in the future, used the deaths of people to further promote their campaign on the eradication of bamboo scaffolding. Bamboo, an already fire-resistant grass, is treated to be further fire-resistant before used in scaffolding. The illegally used flammable mesh and styrofoam are not. Over 100 people have died. Hundreds are missing. Fuck the construction company illegally using flammable cheap nets and foam. Fuck the local council for actively denying safety complaints. Fuck the media for using the deaths of potentially hundreds to spread misinformation. And fuck foreign influencers for parroting media publications for clout without doing proper research.
We're not stupid, but the authorities, they don't care. They don't even care whether or not you believe what they're saying. You just have to go along with it. We're being told by the world, which has swallowed the Chinese propaganda, that our superior methods are backwards and inferior. It's an insult to our history and our culture. Like all of my fellow Hong Kongers, I've spent the last couple of days glued to the coverage of events in Tai Po. I've shed tears listening to the personal accounts of people affected, and what this event has hammered home once again is the Chinese approach to sensitive events, what they call sensitive events. And for 2 long days, all mention of the disaster was erased from TikTok, where I engaged daily with the bulk of my Cantonese audience. When something like this happens, there's a blanket ban on all public discussion and independent coverage. Everything was censored off these platforms for 2 days, and there was nothing but official news stories, which were also scant. And all you see is the authorized mainstream news. This is all in the view of maintaining stability and calm while the government works on the official narrative, which we are now seeing today. I'm seeing coverage once again on TikTok with some limited news stories and some personal posts, selected personal posts visible, while most of what people are saying is being suppressed and hidden. My Instagram feed, on the other hand, is literally full of Tai Po content because it's a Western site. So at times like this, you really see the effects of government censorship. And this is an issue that has always been very sensitive to Hong Kongers. And we're seeing it play out once again. So what kind of official news coverage are we seeing from China? Well, here's a post from TVB Hong Kong. So please note that this is the English translation via Instagram, so it's not perfect, but the Development Bureau has met with the industry to discuss the roadmap for the promotion of metal scaffolding to replace bamboo scaffolding. Chief Secretary for Administration Chen Kwok-Ki added that although there is a long history of using bamboo scaffolding, he believes that metal scaffolding is more flexible and safer, so he will study gradually replacing it. More flexible, my ass. One of the main reasons Hong Kong has been so successful in using bamboo scaffolding for centuries is its flexibility. Bamboo scaffolding withstands the annual typhoon season because it flexes, unlike steel scaffolding. Under heavy winds, it buckles and bends. So the entire city was built using bamboo and has stood for decades as such. If bamboo was flammable, why did Hong Kong not burn down 100 times already? especially considering all the construction workers back in the day were smokers, chain smoking construction workers on bamboo scaffolding.
Believed to have started around some exterior bamboo scaffolding.
Local councils actively ignored and denied reported safety hazards, then, instead of admitting to overlooked mistakes and rectifying them in the future, used the deaths of people to further promote their campaign on the eradication of bamboo scaffolding. Bamboo, an already fire-resistant grass, is treated to be further fire-resistant before used in scaffolding. The illegally used flammable mesh and styrofoam are not. Over 100 people have died. Hundreds are missing. Fuck the construction company illegally using flammable cheap nets and foam. Fuck the local council for actively denying safety complaints. Fuck the media for using the deaths of potentially hundreds to spread misinformation. And fuck foreign influencers for parroting media publications for clout without doing proper research.
Many international media outlets, including the BBC, have suggested that traditional bamboo scaffolding, an iconic part of Hong Kong's construction landscape, was the primary cause of both the ignition and the rapid spread of the fire. However, at this stage, it may be worth approaching such conclusions with caution. According to preliminary findings from the Hong Kong Police and Fire Services Department, the contractor is suspected of using non-compliant safety netting, some of which reportedly contained highly flammable foam material and even covered residents' windows, blocking escape routes and accelerating the blaze. Under Hong Kong's buildings ordinance, all protective netting used on scaffolding must be fire retardant. Evidence suggests that some materials used on site did not meet this mandatory standard. Several registered safety officers and experienced bamboo scaffolders in Hong Kong have also pointed out that dry bamboo, while combustible, is actually quite difficult to ignite. Even when exposed to a direct flame from a lighter, it takes considerable time to catch fire and generate enough heat to spread rapidly. This characteristic appears inconsistent with the extremely fast fire spread witnessed in this incident. The entire building was engulfed within minutes.
Wie man hier klar sehen kann, ist sogar nach dem Brand das Bambusgerüst noch intakt. Der Bambus selbst kann also nicht das Problem gewesen sein.
Everybody in Hong Kong knows that the mesh and the styrofoam caused the fires. And those of us who live in the UK who remember London's Grenfell, we saw what happened when our government acted swiftly and they identified that it was the flammable cladding that developers used to save money. They were upfront about that, and they acted swiftly to ensure that all such cladding be removed from buildings across the UK. So what is China going to do about the mesh and the styrofoam? Are they just going to replace the bamboo scaffolding with steel and wood? Because resting on the steel scaffolding are wooden platforms on which the workers stand. I left Hong Kong at the age of 3 and went back for my first visit home in 1982 at the age of 10. And when I got there, the entire city was covered in bamboo virtually. There's no word to describe it. The state of awe when we came out the airport, got into my mum's car, left the airport, went into the Cross Harbour Tunnel, came out the other side, and my face was just stuck to the window of the car, just peering up at 60-story bamboo edifices. It was like a bamboo Manhattan. Because if you think about it, back in the early 80s, Hong Kong, as you know it, was being constructed. The whole city was a noisy, chaotic construction site. The din of construction was inescapable. It was deafening. And because this was before the days of social media and Hong Kong had very little global media coverage, I didn't know what to expect. I knew nothing of my homeland. I was expecting to see temples and street markets everywhere. So I was completely floored when I first laid eyes on what I call bamboo Manhattan. Hong Kong in the 80s for a child was like an exhilarating dream. Every day and night that I was there. And remember, the nights were entirely lit by neon back in those days. Bamboo is so symbolic to us Hong Kongers. We not only build with it, we can cook with it. And me, I am a Juk Sing. We get called Juk Sing, all of us westernized bananas. It means bamboo. I think the Sing part means star, because Sing means star, but I don't know if it's the same thing, so perhaps you guys can let me know. And the reason we're called bamboo is because we appear Chinese on the outside, but we are hollow on the inside, empty, devoid of Chinese culture, because we grew up in the West. Yeah, it's meant as an insult, but a loving insult. So I'm hoping that as a Juk Sing, I'm redeeming myself somewhat.
Dozens of videos were filmed these days showing how people try to burn bamboos with fire torches, with metal balls, but the fire just won't spread. The real reason that caused this huge fire was the netting used to surround the construction site. They were supposed to be fireproof, which means that as you burn it, it just shrinks and melts, but it doesn't catch on fire or ignite flames. And last year, there were actually multiple complaints filed regarding the safety of the netting used. Some even burned it to show that it's actually very prone to spreading flames. But the different officials, departments, organizations just didn't care, and their ignorance caused us this nightmare. In these videos, you can see that cheap nettings are spreading flames very quickly, and they are dripping down tiny flames as they burn. According to the news, the firefighters actually got to the scenes 5 minutes after they got the call, but the fire already got to the rooftop on the 31st floor. The netting is the reason why the fire spread so quickly and got so out of reach for the firefighters to contain the flames. But with a 330 million Hong Kong dollars budget, you'd think that the construction site would at least be safe for the residents. You'd think that their complaints about safety issues would be heard. But no. So where was the money spent? Why did no one take actions? I love and I'm proud of this decades-long tradition of bamboo scaffoldings in Hong Kong. These bamboos took a huge part in creating these crazy architectures and amazing urban scenes. And their advantages and qualities say so much about our climate and history. People are saying that the officials are going to replace bamboo scaffoldings with metal ones, but metal actually a lot heavier. It spreads heat a lot faster, and its stiffness may cause huge problems for a city like Hong Kong because we experience typhoons a few times a year. I'm just really sad that a huge part of Hong Kong might be gone, not because it's bad, but because it took the blame for some shady actions.
We're not stupid, but the authorities, they don't care. They don't even care whether or not you believe what they're saying. You just have to go along with it. And this is reigniting the sense of anger that has been bubbling away for years about the destruction of Hong Kong culture and the erosion of our freedom of speech and of our language. The same people who are telling us, be civilized, speak Mandarin, taking Cantonese out of the classroom, out of the workplace. Certainly in Guangdong, where there are many places, businesses you go into where they can't serve you in Cantonese. And it's one of the reasons why I do my Canto Banter account. I've got a secondary account on Instagram and TikTok called Canto Banter, where I just try to speak my shoddy, broken Cantonese just to hang on to our language. To carry on the language of my elders in their absence. Hong Kongers are rightfully outraged about this. We're being told by the world, which has swallowed the Chinese propaganda, that our superior methods are backwards and inferior. It's an insult to our history and our culture. So there's a lot of talk in my Cantonese feed about bamboo right now. But I fear, like Winnie the Pooh, bamboo will be banned from social media. We're going to have to think of creative ways to spell it wrong. Those of you who don't know about Winnie the Pooh, just Google Xi Jinping Winnie the Pooh. Is this going to be the start of the bamboo rebellion? Let me know your thoughts. Perhaps you think it's a good thing that all the bamboo is replaced with steel. Have you drank the Kool-Aid? Do you believe the government that bamboo is unsafe and that steel is superior? Please let me have your comments, and do give this video a like and a share. And if you're not already doing so, please subscribe to my channel. Oh look, we have this green mesh here in London. I saw it just as I was walking home. I bet this stuff doesn't go up in flames when you hold a lighter to it. This isn't the Timu version.